Hi everyone, this is Satish. Uh, Satish, myself founded the CSA San Francisco chapter, I think late last year. And we always wanted to kind of put together a schedule and build a rhythm where we can invite guest speakers, we can even talk about the industry trends. And this is more around building a networking event as well, where you can connect with industry leaders as well as get up to date on what's going in the industry, right? I know we have a little low audience today, but that's fine. I think we need to take one step at a time and eventually we'll get there. Our intent is to spread the knowledge across multiple folks who are passionate about information security, whether it is a cloud or on-prem, doesn't matter. And today we have two guest speakers. Satish is going to talk about the domain and subdomain takeovers, which is a pretty overlooked threat in cloud as people work in the DevOps or developer community. And this particular scenario exists in all three cloud, whether you take AWS, GCP, and Azure. And along with that, the biggest threat is supply chain. And Satish will walk you through on some of the examples in the call.
Hello everyone, welcome to our event. It's a pleasure to have you all here. I think there are total 7 or around 8 people. That's really great for the first meetup session. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude for the attendance. I understand all your time is really valuable and we appreciate you taking time to be here with us. We have great event plan for you today, filled with a lot of informative and engaging presentations. We have put a lot of effort and hard work to make this event. We hope you will enjoy it and find it more informative and beneficial too. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have, and don't hesitate to share your thoughts and opinions throughout the event. Once again, thank you being here. With that, let me start with my introduction. So my name is Satish Govindappa and I have 20 plus years of experience in building application, breaking application, and fixing applications. So apart from that, I hold multiple certifications. I have OSCP, CEH, and ECSA. I have done my master's in computers as well in cybersec and cyber law. Previous to this, I was taking care of WASP Null Bangalore chapter and now CSSFO. I have my contact details down here. You can just contact me with those details. And agenda for today. So first, I'll explain about the takeover, what exactly is takeover, and then what subdomain takeover is and how it works. It's important to understand the basics before diving deeper into the topic. Next, I will be talking about the economics of subdomain takeover. So why hackers are interested in this vulnerability, and how do they make profit out of it? And more interesting is like bug bounty hunters, how they can make it as a side hustle and make profit out of it. This would be very interesting for many of us. Then I will cover the different types of subdomain takeovers that exist. It's important to be aware of the different methods that attackers can use to exploit this vulnerability. After that, I will provide a use case on subdomain takeover, especially on AWS bucket. This is a common target for subdomain takeover attacks. It is important to understand how it works and how to prevent it. Following that, I will discuss the implications of subdomain takeover attacks, what kind of damage it can cause, and how the business gets affected and the individuals too. Lastly, I will summarize by going over the fix for subdomain takeover for S3 bucket since prevention is the key, and it's important to know how to protect your online presence from these types of attacks. So let's understand what is subdomain or domain takeover. Imagine if instead of Amazon, you had the power to control Amazon.com. It's frightening thought, but that's what domain takeover and subdomain takeover is all about. If you're seeing in the screen, you have a browser and it says at the top Amazon.com. And there is a red block, if you could see. So that is a subdomain for Amazon.com. Maybe it is shoppingcart.amazon.com. So there is a possibility of hackers taking over that particular domain and completely controlling it. So how this could be done? So before that, I'll just try to make it more interesting by getting into the financial part of it or the more economic part of it. So previously, a lot of bug bounty hunters, they made a lot of cash out of it. Based on the metrics in HackerOne, around 12,000 plus bugs were identified by the bug bounty programmers. So each bug would cost somewhere between $500 to $2,000 for the companies to shell out. So if you take an average, maybe 1,000, it would be around 12 million. So much of amount was given to the bug bounty hunters. So if you are interested in side hustle, this would be a very good side hustle too. So this not only that, by doing bug bounty, how many of you are aware of bug bounty program here? Bhuvneshwari, you know what is bug bounty program?
I've heard about it, but I'm not like, I don't know the exact definition.
No, okay. Let me give you an overview of bug bounty program. So basically, HackerOne is a site. If you can go to HackerOne site, you can register yourself, and then they will provide you a list of applications for you to hack and then make money, make a bounty out of it. So a lot of big companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, they are part of it. So it's like they have given you approval to go and hack the list of domains they have provided. So this is not only very good way to move forward in this domain, especially security. It gives recognition, and then you can easily get jobs out of it. So it's like a hands-on practice you can do over there. It'll be very useful. I mean, I would recommend you try once, just register, and then see if you could do something on it. If you're able to crack at least one bug, then definitely you're sure to get a job.
Okay. But it's not like something we need to learn about the security things, or it's just trying to find the vulnerabilities in the particular application being developed.
Yeah, just trying to find vulnerabilities in the applications, but you need to have a little bit of basic knowledge of pen testing. Just basically, for example, you have a login screen, try to bypass it, things like that. Try those use cases.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, I'll try. Thank you for the input.
Okay. So next, I'll quickly switch on to the subdomain. I'll take the subdomain and explain what is an URL and how this URL is configured in the Amazon, for example, S3 bucket, how it is configured and how people will misuse it. So whenever HTTPS shopping cart at amazon.com, if you have this kind of URL, in this URL, so HTTPS until here is the protocol, and then shopping cart is called the subdomain. Amazon is called the domain, and com is the top level domain. So these are the components of an URL. Now, how this URL is configured by Amazon in AWS. So if you go to AWS, basically Route 53 is a component or a app in AWS where they would have put this configuration. For example, Amazon.com will be having, this is a hypothetical example. It will be pointing to some IP address, and then there will be a NS record, and then there would be SOA, and then there is a CNAME. So if you see CNAME carefully, so this is an S3 bucket, which is tied to this particular Amazon.com. So if you consider this as a resource, this as a domain name, so this domain subdomain name is connected to this particular resource. Now, what is the problem now? Often what happens, developers, they will have created these kind of subdomains and have attached to some of the resources. Now, the problem happens when they remove the resource and then forget to remove the subdomain name. And it is pretty common throughout the industry. So a lot of times people, they just create multiple subdomains, they tie to a resource, and then they just simply, for some reason, they don't need the resource, in this case, S3 bucket, and then they just discard it without properly sanitizing the entire subdomain. So that is when the problem occurs. Now, what happens? So when the resource is disconnected and you still have the resource name, the domain name, then you will get this kind of error. For example, a particular domain name, shoppingcart.com, was associated with a bucket, and that bucket was deleted. So you get this kind of error. So this error is easy to detect. So you just, there are some of the scanners are open source. You can just download from the Git and then run scan across, and you will find a lot of subdomains with this kind of error. So when you have this kind of error, all you need to do is copy the bucket name and then create your own AWS account, create a sub bucket, and then create a domain name and then attach it to it. So that way what will happen, whatever the whoever tries to access that particular domain is redirected to your bucket. So that that is how you will get the entire access of that particular domain. So you will be controlling that domain. So yeah, this is a very serious issue. So a lot of people, hackers, they try to utilize this. They start doing phishing out of it. They start exploiting that website. And then that's how they make a lot of money. And basically they'll do a phishing, get the information, maybe do some kind of malicious activities and make money. So this is a very serious concern. And the fix is very simple. All you need to do is just, you need to delete the, whenever you remove the resource, you need to delete the domain names which you have created, the configuration. So it is that simple. So yeah, this is about subdomain takeover. Thank you so much for everyone attending. Yeah.